tonight's night of outdoor football in Class 6A in Minnesota. And tonight on CCX, a matchup between two top 10 teams, the Centennial Cougars and the Wayzata Trojans. From Chanhassen High School, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson for tonight's telecast. Ryan, Centennial, a very good season, 8-2 in the state playoffs for the first time in 10 years, coming off a thrilling overtime win over Edina last week in the quarterfinals.
Well, they're a very good football team, extremely well coached, John. And the thing is, they played a really tough schedule this year. They have handed Champlain Park their only loss of the year, who we saw last night, easily move on to the state, playing indoors. So Centennial feels like they belong, and they do belong. And I think their experience has prepared them. I expect them to come to play tonight.
I said quarterfinals. Last week was actually the section playoffs. Wayzata had two easy section wins. You look at the score, Egan 2 weeks ago and Eastridge last week. Eastridge not a bad team. It was 56-20 by the end.
Wayzata's a machine this year. I've said all along, we're used to Eden Prairie, Lakeville North kind of being the two dominant teams, and they're both down a little bit. Eden Prairie, of course, eliminated. I think Wayzata is the best all-around football team that I've seen this year, with Champlain Park a close second right behind them. But the key is when you get to this time of year, John, you have to have a great offense and a defensive line. Wayzata checks those boxes. They have a dominating offensive line, the big sexies, as we saw in the CCX story on them. So they're huge. They control the line of scrimmage. They got an excellent running game. They got a very capable quarterback. Oh, and they have an outstanding defense to go along with it. So all phases of the game, Wayzata is really rolling.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Cougars. Connor Zulka, a dual-threat quarterback, and really a guy that's going to have a big game for them tonight.
Well, dual threat, 1,000 yards passing, over 800 yards rushing, 23 total touchdowns. He's kind of their do-it-all guy, and they're shorthanded a little bit due to injuries. He's got to have a dominant game. Not a good game, a dominant game. He's got to be able to run the football well. They're not going to throw a ton, but he's got to be effective when he does do it. He's certainly capable of it. He's very talented, great student, all state as far as academics too, so a smart kid. He's got to be on his A game tonight for them to have a chance.
For Wayzata, Christian Vassar, one of the top running backs in the state. He'll play next year at Minnesota State Mankato, really having a terrific season.
Forget Minnesota State Mankato. Let's get him to the Gophers tomorrow against Penn State. They might need it. I think he's the best back maybe in the metro area. Physical, he's quick, he's fast, he's strong. He's a touchdown machine. They got great balance. They got a number of really talented running backs, but he is the man. I love watching him run. He reminds me of Evan Hall kind of from Maple Grove the last couple of years. Maybe even a little bit more physical, a little bit more, build, a little stronger too, but dominant running back. They're the whole deal here at Wayzata, and he's a big part of their success.
In talking to Coach Mike Diggins, Centennial certainly banged up coming into tonight. Lost a couple of guys last week, so they're not at full strength and a little bit undersized against Wayzata. So what's their formula to try to pull an upset here tonight?
Well, in talking to him, Centennial played St. Michael Albertville, who's a big physical team, who played Wayzata tough earlier in the year. They beat a physical Edina team just last week. So I think they know they've always been undersized, but how do you make up for it? Well, with technique, with being, no penalties, no turnovers. And I think against Wayzata, who's so big on the offensive line, they got to bring pressure. They got to do stunts. They got to find a way to slow the running game down, win first and second down. But you can only do that if you got the heart of a lion. When you're undersized and they're playing a really, really big team, they got to bring great energy. They got to be almost perfect tonight, especially being, shorthanded with the injuries.
A little bit of a wind, temperature around 30 degrees, but no precipitation in the forecast. Cold night for football, but we'll get this one in, and it should be a good one. Centennial Wayzata 6A football coming up next on CCX. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV. We're about set for state football on CCX. Unbeaten. Wayzata 10-0 taking on 8-2 Centennial. Trojans get ready on the near sideline here, Ryan. We saw them early in the season against Edina and looked
every bit the part of a championship caliber team at that time, and they've done nothing since then to dissuade us.
Well, and again, they play such a difficult schedule. The Eden Prairies, the Edinas, the St. Michael Albertville, Minnetonka. So they're playing big, physical, athletic teams all year long. So they're undefeated, but it's not like it's been against easy opponents. They've had to earn that, and I think it just prepares them, John, to when they get to this point, they are so confident. 10-game winning streak, obviously, and your jitters. We always talk about big games. It's who can kind of settle down and just play football. Warming up, you forget about the weather, and you just got to go out and do what you've been doing all year long.
Wayzata fans are ready. Centennial will receive the opening kickoff. Peter Melquist kickoff. Tim O'Neill and Noah Larson are back deep. This will stop in front of one of the and went off one of the up men, and fortunately for Centennial, recovered. Michael Schneider, number 25, got on top of that after it caromed off of Brandon Rika. But it's Centennial football. First down and 10 for the Cougars from their 30-yard line to start.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to see, John, who that front person was for Centennial, but that's where you got to let that one go. There was some miscommunication. They're lucky to recover that ball. That would have been a big play there off the kickoff. But here we go, and there's Connor Zoll coming out. We talked about him in the pregame. He's got to be excellent tonight for Centennial.
Austin flashing behind him. You see the two halfbacks split on the other side. In motion comes O'Neill, goes to flashing, gets a couple of yards, but hit pretty soon after he had gotten the ball in the gain of 2 on first down.
Well, you saw Malachi Jackson, number 5. He's a force too. We talked, when we saw him play John, Joe Demro, number 99, was an absolute man-child on that defensive line. They really don't have a weakness. They're big up front. They got great linebackers. They got excellent players in the secondary, can come up and make plays too. They are a complete defense.
Larson comes in motion. It's flashing, getting the ball again, and he'll fight his way out to the 35. Still on his feet, does get 3 yards. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 coming for Centennials. Look at their starters, and the offensive line's going to have to do their work and give time for Zulk passing and for that running game to open up some holes.
Yeah, and they're giving up a lot of size. They're smaller, and Coach Mike Diggins was telling us about that, but they believe they got that athleticism, and sometimes having undersized linemen, they're great at trapping and pulling, and they got to stay low. And in football, a lot of times the low man wins, so don't discount them just because of their size.
3rd down and 5. It's Zulk keeping it, and only get a couple of yards to the 37. It'll be 4th down for the Cougars.
Well, that time I thought Connor Zulk did a nice. He was very patient. If he could have got his momentum going forward there, I think he could have maybe gotten enough to lean forward for the 1st down. But a nice job by that interior Trojan defense there to hold him down. And I'll tell you, Connor Zulk is now doing the punting tonight as well because of injuries. Anytime your quarterback is that punter, obviously the fake punt is always in play.
Yeah, he's their 3rd-string punter being called on to punt. And here he got a good first punt away, huh? Picked up at the 21-yard line, and a short return out to the 26. That's where Wayzata will start its first drive. The punt return by Drew Birkland.
Yeah, nice play. Nice open field tackle there by Jonah Hilton, too, on special teams. But, yeah, if he's the 3rd-string punter, I'd love to see what the 1st-string punter would look like. That was a great kick. An athletic catch. That was a high snap. He went up and got it and had the calmness to slow down and get a great kickoff. If anything, you change the field position there a little bit. You're going to make Wayzata start, within their about their 27-yard line.
Well, the numbers for Schmidt pretty impressive on the season.
Well, the two things that stand out, 63%, 17 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So he takes care of the football.
Hand off on 1st down is Deshaun Bush, and he'll get about 3 yards to the 30 before the Cougars are ready to stop him.
There's a look at the Wayzata offensive starters. Tom Schmidt, they don't rely on the throw, but he's been very effective with it. And then there's those big fellas up front. Again, you guys did a wonderful story on them, and kind of neat to see how close they are as a unit. And they got some talent, too, wide receiver and running backs.
Second down and 7, first carry of the night for Christian Vassar. Finds a little bit of a seam and gets out to the 35-yard line. He'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. Gain of 5.
Look at that Centennial defense, and they've been a very stout defense, John, all year long. They've held some good offenses in check.
Wayzata right back up to the line. Now Schmidt looking to the sideline for the call, and then backs away again. And he'll operate out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 2. He'll hand off. Vassar has got the first down. Gain of 3 out to the 38. So 3 rushing plays have gained 11 yards, and Wayzata moves the sticks.
Well, and that's such a great asset for an offensive coordinator. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, to just trust your guys up front. Nothing fancy. We are going to keep doing this over and over and over, and we just trust our guys to get enough push to get 4 or 5 yards every carry. And you'll get sick of seeing Christian Vassar running up the middle, and then he'll break one, and they just keep going to it over and over.
Vassar will go off tackle here, and he'll get just about a yard. Centennial stopping maybe 2 yards to the 40-yard line.
And the thing is, they run that play so often, and just when you really sell out against the run, that's when you're going to see an excellent, ball fake. Thomas Schmidt has great play action ability, and they'll ride that fake out, and that's when you get, great passing lanes. That's when you'll see Jacob Weldermuth, come on a slant. So that's what makes them so hard to defend, because they do have very good balance.
2nd down and 8. Bodine in motion. They fake the handoff, and Schmidt does throw, and Sean Bush got a first down at the Centennial 47-yard line, and a pickup of 13 yards.
And again, there was that play action, and I'll tell you what it does, John, is it just gets those linebackers to take a step or 2 up, and then you got a really easy throw for your quarterback and a nice passing lane. There's no one in front of that, so it's an easy throw and catch, and it's really hard to stop both of them.
From the 47 of Centennial, back to the ground game, and Vassar is stopped. He is hit at the line of scrimmage. Mason Mix among those to make the stop on him. A gain of 1.
Well, Cougars are doing a really nice job of getting push and just not having much of a seam there up the middle.
Second down and 9 from the 46 of Centennial. First drive of the game for Wayzata's offense after Centennial went on 3 and out to start the ball game. Bodine are now set on the right. And coming on the jet sweep, this is Wildermuth, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Nice tackle coming up on the play by Casey Coopersmith. One of the captains for this team.
And Isaac Ankrum did a nice job, too, on the stretch. There was some blocking up at the top of our screen here, but it was just really well strung out, and then a great job. That's what you got to do. You got to defeat your blocker and make a great tackle. You can see it looked like there was some room right there, but just an excellent job of shedding that blocker. And Ankrum does a great job of making that play.
Good call. It was 27 Ankrum on the tackle. Thank you, Ryan. On 3rd down, Schmidt and laying out and making the catch is Bodine. How about that? Down at the 29-yard line of Centennial. That was a terrific catch.
That was really athletic. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. A great ball fake, and they're just bringing Bodine right across the middle there. Kind of got hung up, so that ball was out in front of him, but great concentration. What a weapon when you have a tight end that can go and make a catch like that. And that's the thing, they're just so solid, John, at every position.
Gain of 18. Schmidt rollout. He's going to the end zone and too far. Intended for Bush. 2nd down and 10.
Well, pretty well covered that time on all levels by Centennial. But I think the importance of that call, and you go for the home run, you don't get it, but it softens that defense up again. And you got to remember what Wayzata is trying to do is dominate between the tackles. And by taking those shots, even if you don't connect on it, it's opening up the running game for them.
Okay, Jackson now in the game as well as Vassar in that offensive backfield. on 2nd down and 10. And a nice hole, and it's Vassar running down to the 22-yard line. He'll gain 7. It'll be 3rd down and a short 3.
Well, he ran with great patience that time, John. He got right behind. I think that was Malachi Jackson leading the way. Look at the patience, and then you see there's an arm tackle right there. You cannot tackle him with your arms. You have to wrap him up and team tackle.
Flashing and Osmic on the tackle. 3rd down for Wayzata. They've picked up 3 first downs already on this drive. Trying to continue it here deep in Centennial territory. And Jackson hit in the backfield. Oh no, Schmidt's got the ball. He's still on his feet to the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. Like 2 of the defenders for Centennial, I was faked out. Schmidt with a great fake, and he gained 17 yards down to the 5.
Well, that's the one where he's got an option. He's reading that defensive end. And at the last second, I think Thomas Schmidt looked and saw that defensive end crashing down, and he decided to pull the ball out at the last second, and it fooled everyone on Centennial. What a ball fake. Big play, big conversion on 3rd down.
His biggest run of the year as far as yardage. This is Jackson trying to turn the corner, get to the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Wayzata. Malachi Jackson, a 5-yard run, and the Trojans are on the board.
Oh, there's a flag down on the corner there. I don't wonder if they're...
Holding on Wayzata. Looks like Luke Bodine they got for, so take the 6 points off the board. It'll be 1st down and goal.
And here's the thing, John. You think about defending Wayzata. Well, we've seen him run to the right, to the left, pre-snap motion, jet sweep. We've seen, run pass options where the quarterback's keeping it. We've seen throws. We've seen deep throws, quick throws. They really have a great balance. They have a good mixture of everything. So you don't know necessarily what you're trying to scheme to take away from them.
Ball at the 13, 1st and goal from there.
I'll tell you, the coaches up in the booth do a heck of a job calling the games.
And off to Vassar. He'll get inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Wrapped up by O'Neill, along with Ankrum and Mix.
Yeah, Mason Mix did a great job that time of crashing down on that play. And they're such quick handoffs that sometimes they won't block the defensive ends. And Mix that time just came flying from the outside and made a great play.
2nd down and goal just inside the 10. Schmidt. And off to Vassar, and he'll get about 4 yards to the 6-yard line. Flashing in on the stop, 3rd down and goal.
And you see Jack Carver, one of their anchors on that offensive line, coming out. Looked like he was hobbling a little bit on his ankle. That could be something to keep an eye on.
Third down and goal for Wayzata from just outside the 5. That's got us playing, ready to get the offense going. Looking to the end zone, he's going to throw. He's got Bodine, it's a touchdown. And he delivers a hit.
Well, that was a great route design right there. You had 2 wide receivers a little bit deeper and occupied the safeties and the defensive backs, and then you have Bodine coming shallow, and a great read that time by Schmidt as he found Bodine, and Bodine had that great catch on the 3rd down conversion, so you give it to him. He goes in, and that was a big collision there about a yard deep into the end zone. But that's a big-time drive. You start on defense, you get that 3 and out, and then they march down the field. The other thing, too, John, took a lot of time off the clock, too.
Schmidt the holder for Melquist, whose extra point try is up and through. And Wayzata Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter already. Now up 7-0.
Yeah, and then you see the reason he was open. You can see there's the two wide receivers, Jacob Wildermuth and Deshaun Bush, were running into the end zone. So there's just no one in front to take that shallow crossing route there by Bodine, and that was a good hit there at the end. And just a great drive, good balance, a couple of big throws, a couple of great runs. You know, and that's the thing. Centennial, I thought, did a really good job of containing Christian Vassar on that drive. Just nothing big for him up the middle. But Wayzata, with their balance and all their weapons, still finding a way to march down the field.
For Luke Bodine, his third touchdown catch of the season. Look at their receiver numbers, too. Like Centennial don't throw a ton. They're all averaging a lot of yards per catch. You know, their vertical passing game and 4 great yards after a catch, too.
Well, you got to think, I mean, Jacob Wildermuth, 36 receptions, 8 of them for touchdowns. So it's one of those where they don't throw a ton, but when they do, it's really effective.
Another kick that's on the ground. This one picked up cleanly, though, by Larson. Out past the 25 to the 27-yard line. So Centennial will have their second possession here on offense. 3 running plays and a punt on their first drive.
Well, and you got to keep in mind, these two teams met last year in the playoffs in Wayzata. Wayzata won that 45-0. And Centennial, obviously a totally different team this year. Very successful, very good, but injured and hobbling a little bit. And a lot of these kids remember that from last year. And so this is a big drive, I think, for the Cougars. They need some success, maybe not necessarily a score, but a couple of first downs to get their kids believing in it.
Keeping it is Zolk, and he gets a couple of yards before Malachi Jackson wraps him up after a gain of 3.
Oh, you talk about great ball fakes, too. Connor Zolk is an excellent, great with his hands and the ball fakes, too. You're never quite sure who's got it.
You get Sam Robertson and the rest of that Wayzata defense. Robertson, number 7. It's been a unit that's been solid the year. And another thing for Wayzata, for the most part, they're pretty healthy. I don't like Wayzata or Centennial. It's banged up. They're going with much of the same line at the start of the season. Oh, throwing downfield's got a man open. That's Larson for a first down into Wayzata territory. Wrestled down at the 47-yard line. Eddie Benninga on the tackle. First down catch. Noah Larson on the receiving end.
Well, you see, he's a very capable thrower. That was excellent touch. The thing that made that, John, was not only was it great play action, but he actually set it up that he was going to run that ball. At the last second, took that step backwards, and I think he fooled the secondary in Wayzata. They're going to have to sprinkle in that kind of play. They're going to have to be able to pass the ball to be able to move the ball because Wayzata is so stout against the run. So excellent play call, great execution.
Running back running into Zolk is on his way by, got the handoff after that first down pass of 23 yards. This one will gain 3 down to the 44.
Well, I'll tell you, you talked too, John, about Wayzata being pretty healthy. That's the other effect of winning games pretty handily is a lot of times you get second, third team players in third and fourth quarter. Centennial has been playing nail biters the last couple of weeks, so these guys have been playing full games too, and that takes a toll.
Pitch goes out. This is Larson's got a lot of room on the left side. Down to the 30-yard line. Down the sideline, still on his feet. To the end zone, the pylon, touchdown, wow. Centennial. Noah Larson, 44 yards, and the Cougars answer right back.
Wow, what an answer by Centennial. What a great pitch, too, by Connor Zolk. Not easy to do when you're running to the left, knowing you're about to take a hit. He put it right on the money. Noah Larson showing off that great speed. There was some great blocks, too, down the field. What an answer for the Cougars. What a big play. Get them back in this ball game.
Snap down. Ricky Hemrick's kick is up, and it's through. And just like that, we are tied 7-7.
That was a great play design. They've been running everything in the middle. We saw two really well executed plays there, but watch this fake. And then I want you to see number 4, Tim O'Neill, down the field. You couldn't see him, but he had a great block on Ukofia, number 2, and it held him just enough to allow Noah Larson to get to the outside. Great fake, excellent pitch. And you see the block down the field. That was big. And you see offensive lineman Brett Sonderman, too, down the field holding his block. And that's just a great play, great execution. And Connor Zolk didn't score that touchdown, but by his ball fake and that accurate pitch and the timely pitch, and I think, too, that they ran that other play action where they connected on a pass. Those were two great calls. And it kind of threw the Wayzata defense off just a little bit for them to come back and tie the game. I think that drive for their confidence, John, what a big answer. Well, he's also the kicker, Connor Zolk is.
He's doing it all.
Yeah.
And he hits, get one of the Wayzata upmen in the foot. Ball scrambled for. Centennial thinks they have it. Zolk sure of it.
Brandon Reich is sure of it, too. And they got it.
That?
Wow. Justin Dose comes out with it. And I don't think that was a planned. I think he was just trying to pound that on the ground. And you couldn't tell whose foot that hit. That might have been Jack Clausen, number 13. But yeah, I don't believe that was a planned onside kick. I think he was just trying to pound it on the ground. Clausen was already running backwards to get into his blocking position, and a great job by Centennial seeing that ball as a live ball, getting down the field and getting on it.
Cougars fired up, tied up 7-7 here. Last minute of the first quarter. Zolk wanting to throw and completes the pass, a short catch. O'Neal on the reception. He'll gain 3 yards to the 41.
Well, great catch, too. That ball a little bit low into the outside, but O'Neal with a really athletic catch. And I'll tell you again, those passing plays aren't huge. They're not going for touchdowns, but it's enough to keep Wayzata, I think, honest defensively. And again, Centennial's throwing enough just to try to set up their running game. But momentum is a funny thing, John, and right now Centennial grabbed it away and has it here going into the second quarter.
We're at 0-0, and we will take a timeout as we get to the first quarter break. Centennial late touchdown has tied it. Our score after one, Centennial 7 and Wayzata 7.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson back at Chanhassen High School. Class 6A quarterfinal football. 7-7 as we start the second quarter. 2nd and 7 for Centennial from the Wayzata 41. Ball is fumbled and recovered. It looked like by Wayzata. Yes, it is. Hayden Davison, the junior, comes up and makes the fumble recovery. Zolk never had it.
Well, that's a big play. Centennial with obviously the onside kick there and a low snap. That ball got away from Zolk and heads up play by Wayzata. This defense is very opportunistic. They will turn you over. And again, watch the effort to get on this ball. As soon as they see it's live, and just a low snap, a hard one for a quarterback to get. But look how quick those blue jerseys got on it. We just talked about momentum being a funny thing, and just like that, you can get it back on the other side. Let's see what Wayzata can do now, getting the ball back.
First down and 10 from their 46. Vassar the back behind Schmidt. He'll get the call on first down. Got a nice hole, and he's got a good gain of 9 yards down to the Centennial 45-yard line. Christian Vassar's 8th carry already tonight.
Well, and that's the luxury of having a physical back like that, is he seems to just get stronger the more carries he gets. But look at how well this is blocked on the left side. There's no contact to Vassar until he's 5 or 6 yards down the field.
He'll get the call again on second down. Got a first down, trying to pop it outside. And is inside the Centennial 40-yard line down to the 38, a gain of 7. He's got 9 carries for 41 yards.
Yep, and just wears on you. Again, to that left side, really well blocked. That time showing his versatility. Watch him kick this out right here. He kind of sees it, but watch him pop out. Now he's got speed. And the only way you can tackle him, you got to go low around his legs because he is a powerful runner. He's got that rare combination of size and speed.
Fifth first down of the game for the Trojans. Fake the handoff. Schmidt going up top, trying to get it. Then does the Wildermuth for a first down. Down to the 16-yard line of Centennial. And a gain of 22.
Well, and that's just confidence between those two guys. When we had Wayzata early in the year, and Thomas Schmidt, I asked him in the post-game interview, what is it with Wildermuth? And he said, I just trust him. I know where he's going to be. And that time, you know what? You don't throw that ball if you don't have that kind of trust. Because it was just one-on-one, throw it up high, and Wildermuth goes up, makes an athletic play. That's a beautiful throw, trusting throw, but a great catch.
41st catch of the season, averaging almost 19 yards per catch. Vassar can't get to the outside, trying to cut it back inside. Does a nice job just to get 0 out of that.
Well, that was really well played by Austin Flashing, number 15. He strung that outside and just didn't let Vassar turn it upfield at all. And that's the drill you do in practice. You string it out, and then you got to have that good pursuit coming down the line. Really well defended that time by the Cougars and that young man right there.
Second down and 9, ball just inside the Centennial 15-yard line now.
Well, and I love this ability too as an offense. You see what Centennial's showing defensively, and they can make sure you get into the right play call.
Vassar trying to pick a hole outside, and there's Flashing again coming up and making first contact and helping to finish off with Brandon Rika. Gain of a couple. It'll be third down and 7.
Austin Flashing plays safety, and you're seeing they're putting him in that box. He's coming up basically being almost another linebacker. And if you're going to be unblocked, you got to be able to be a sure tackler and make that hit. And he's done that the last couple of plays. Really nice tackles.
Play action. Schmidt going to the end zone too far. And incomplete, trying to hit Wildermuth. Well covered and long, and it's a decision time here for Wayzata to try a field goal attempt. It looks like they will.
Well, and you talked about it, really well covered. On that throw, you almost want to go back shoulder and give Wildermuth a chance to make that play. You see the defender's not looking. If you throw that short and outside, Wildermuth perhaps can make a break on the ball. That time just thrown out of the back of the end zone. But I'll tell you, that's what makes Thomas Schmidt a really effective quarterback. He doesn't turn it over. He's either going to complete that or make sure that it's not intercepted too. So trusting your kicker, trusting your defense, probably the right play there.
Melquist will attempt a 28-yard field goal here. And the flag is up, and it is through. And Wayzata has a 10-3 lead. They take advantage of the turnover, 10-7 lead. Here with 9:28 to go in the second quarter.
And I think you give the win to Centennial on that drive after that big pass play to Wildermuth for them to hold there and only allow 3 points off the turnover. That's okay. That's something that they can build with.
Ladies and gentlemen, for more than a century,
I'll tell you what, though, you don't take advantage, for granted that 28-yard field goal. It's cold. It's windy out there. That's a great kick.
Winners tonight in the 2 6A games will play next Friday night at 7 o'clock in the friendly confines of US Bank Stadium. You won't have to have 3 layers of clothes on for that one.
There's a look at Coach Mike Diggins in his 10th season. First state tournament appearance with them. What a great guy. We did their game last year and obviously this year, and just enjoy talking to him, and you can tell he's he loves his kids, passionate and excited to be here. So
been on that staff a long time, 10th year as head coach, but he's been a lot of good football players and a good guy, and a good coach for these guys.
Yep.
His team trailing by 3, trying to bounce back from the turnover. Another bouncy kick and was handled and then just knelt down at the 33-yard line for Centennial.
Let's see, and a lot of people watching will say, well, why would you kneel that? And Zach Frank, he's a defensive lineman, so he's not used to handling the ball. And you see a lot of times you'll get someone who's not used to handling the ball, they want to return those because they don't get that opportunity very often. That's when you get a fumble or something out of it. So really a heads-up play. Make sure you recover it and then just take the knee. Still pretty good field position.
Larson in motion on first down. It's flashing. He's really fighting hard. Turned back and finally put down by Luke Deselich, senior linebacker. The gain of 3 for flashing.
Did you see how quick Malachi Jackson was in that backfield? He almost got to Connor Zolk before he even handed it off.
Second down at 7 from the 37-yard.
Ball to 37 for Centennial. Second down. Pitch goes back. Larson gathers it in. Scored on a similar play in the first quarter and gets a good run here. It takes a hit and it might get a flag. It does. A late hit. He flagged on Ukofia after Larson picked up 18 yards on that play.
Yeah, they're going to tack on another 15 for the contact after he was out of bounds. I'll tell you, same play, running that fake and then the option to the left. And, you know, Connor Zolk does a great job. He holds on to that ball till the very last second and had a great pitch. That was a great catch, too, by Noah Larson. The pitch was kind of behind him and high. You see a great catch, and then again, another awesome block down the field by Tim O'Neill, number 4, holding that linebacker or that outside backer just enough to get a big play.
O'Neill comes in motion.
Oh.
And Zolk gets popped and driven back. No gain.
Well, the penetration, you see blue jerseys in that backfield in a matter of a second or so. Just great quickness up front.
Loss of 1. Lashaka Rokes among those defending there. Second down at 11. Ball now at the Wayzata 31. Hand off, and again, not much doing. And there's number 1 again, along with 99 Joe Demro, help finish off the runner flashing.
And again, watch the penetration. I mean, there's just nowhere to go. I'll tell you, Malachi Jackson and that time Roquez just in the backfield waiting for him, and that young man right there, they move him around all over on that defensive line. He is a handful to block. And Centennial really, when they're rolling on offense, they're winning first and second down. They want to be in that 3rd and short. You put them in 3rd and 9. You know, this is where you got to watch play action, reverses, screens, all that stuff.
Zolk, 3rd down and 9, will throw out to the right and incomplete. Larson, the intended receiver. Coverage by Robertson. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, just nowhere to go with that ball. That's a smart throw, throwing it outside, out of bounds, because Sam Robertson, number 7, was waiting for that ball to be underthrown or behind.
Cougars will go for it here on 4th down and 9 from the Wayzata 29. Mason Lindsay, receiver, in with the play.
And you wondered with that 3rd and 9, knowing you're going to go for it, do you maybe run it and get 4 or 5 yards? And then you set up a little bit more manageable 4th down. You got to pretty much expect a pass here, and Wayzata's going to know it as well. You got to keep an eye on number 99 here for Wayzata. When he knows it's a pass coming, he's going to pin those ears up and go.
And now Centennial will take time out.
You know, in big games, and you have plays for these kind of downs and distances. So Coach Diggins wanted to make sure they get the right play called, seeing what kind of look Wayzata was giving them. They've had success running that option.
Here's an update from Eden Prairie, where Lakeville South is playing.
Lakeville South ahead of Mounds View, 7-0, second quarter. Or the other 6A quarterfinal round game going on tonight. So the winner tonight plays the winner of that game next Friday at 7 at US Bank. Next Thursday night, it's Champlain Park against Lakeville North. Impressed to know that Rebels team last night really put it to Rosemont, especially in the second half, winning 34-7.
And just like I was praising Wayzata prior to this game, I think Champlain Park has very, very good physical offensive and defensive lines. They have excellent linebackers. Secondary is fast, and Jace Miller, the way he played last night, if he can do that consistently going forward, they can beat anybody this year. I really believe that.
Here we go on 4th and 9. Zolk passing, and it is up and caught by Lindsay.
Oh, boy.
Inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal at the 7.
I initially was looking at the yellow line that's in play, thinking that was a good 3 or 4 yards out of bounds. But what a throw. He threw it high and to the outside where only his receiver could have a chance to make that play. And what an athletic catch by Lindsay.
Gain of 22 yards.
And it looked like Eddie Benega slipped there at the last second, or he might have been able to get a hand on it, but what a conversion.
And the run, Larson spins inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Tackled by Matt Schmidt.
Well, that's the kind of play that gets your confidence level up. You can see they ran a little bit harder, a little bit faster there. They get a big first down, and Centennial has made some big critical plays here in this game. Maybe none bigger than that 4th and long conversion. And again, they don't throw often, but they're pretty successful when they do attempt to throw.
2nd and goal from the 4. Zolk faking, roll out right, got a man. O'Neal open, touchdown.
Wow, what a great call, what a great execution. And I'll tell you, Connor Zolk, not only with the ball fake, he rolled out and he held it just long enough and almost kind of did a sidearm throw. And he put it right on the money to Tim O'Neal. And O'Neal's made some big blocks down the field in this game so far. That time he gets rewarded, catches a touchdown. What a drive there by Centennial. I'll tell you what, those kids right now, when you got a lead midway through the second quarter, they're starting to believe that they can do this tonight.
Emmert's kick is up, and it is through. 6:15 to go in the first half. It's now 14-10 Centennial.
And again, watch this great ball fake and good patience, allowing it to develop, and then having that presence of mind, knowing he was about to get hit. You see him change the release angle on that throw. And that's not easy to throw it right on the money when you're about to take a big hit, too. You think he's fired up? Didn't get to play in this game last year against Wayzata because of injury. And he's taking full advantage of it. And kind of ironic, too, John, that Centennial, very much a running football team. Their biggest plays, especially on that drive, were through the air.
O'Neal's first touchdown catch of the season, his 9th reception of the season. Zolk's 11th TD pass of the year.
And not a difficult play, right? It's sold because you're running the football effectively, and play action works. And there's a look at Lambert Brown in his 3rd season. He's done such a great job here at this program. You know, traditionally a powerhouse, kind of had a few down years, and he's gotten the excitement and the energy level back up, and the expectations too for this program. He's got great energy. Every time you talk to him, he makes me want to get my pads back on and go play.
Zolk's kick will bounce through the end zone. How do you think that would go? You get skills, but now you're a little bit up there in age.
I'd probably have to be a tight end now. How about that, Connor Zolk, after you throw a touchdown pass, boots it out of the end zone for a touchback? You think he has got a little excitement, a little adrenaline flowing.
See how Wayzata responds. And not used to being behind, especially late in the season here, but they had 14-10. Midway through the second quarter, excuse me.
And sometimes great teams. I remember being at Eden Prairie when we never trailed, and you found yourself trailing in the state tournament against a good team. It almost fired you up, like, okay, we're actually finally in a good game. I'm guessing Wayzata is going to be able to respond.
Vassar on first down, got a hole and closed before he got a first down, but still a good 8-yard run where he took a good hit there. Second down and 2 from the 28.
Great fakes right there, a little pre-snap motion, really well blocked too. Again, there's no contact until 7 or 8 yards down the field, so up front the big guys are doing their job.
Nice tackle though by Zach Osmick, standing him up and keeping him short of the first down.
Well, and I think that's what you have to do against Christian Vassar, and I was saying it last night with Champlain Park, with Jace Miller running the football so much, you had to make him feel when he did run the football. And I think with a guy like Vassar who gets so many carries, normally he's doing the punishing, but if you can wear him down a little bit too, I think that can help.
Schmidt play action, throws over the middle, he's got a completion. It's Wildermuth inside Centennial territory, down to the 48-yard line. Osmick on the tackle.
Well, my first thought was I saw how awkward that tackle was, and thank goodness he's okay. But watch the ball fake here. All set up by that. You see everyone flowing up to the line of scrimmage, and what you do is you end up giving Jacob Wildermuth one-on-one coverage in the whole middle of the field wide open. He does a great job of setting his route up too, faking to the outside and cutting in the middle.
Gain of 24. Now Schmidt keeping 40-yard line. Got a first down to the 37, maybe 36-yard line. Schmidt with his second first down run of the game.
Again, not known for being much of a rusher, but that time great ball fake and just follows right up the hole and showing some nifty footwork too there. Staying low and shifting to the outside. Excellent play.
Gain of 12, first down and 10 at the Centennial 36. Inside of 5 minutes to go now here in a very good first half of football. Give to Vassar, right side, finds a little hole, about 4 yards where he stopped, wrapped up by Isaiah Bettinger. Second down, and 6, maybe closer to 7 to go for a first.
I'll tell you, the Centennial team, you can tell they're a very good tackling football team. And their tackles are hard. You're seeing a lot of hitting going on out there.
Comes in motion, but it's Vassar getting the carry. He's got some open space to the 15, to the 10, and he's out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down for Wayzata.
Well, that run, credit the offensive line, and Christian Vassar, a lot of people think is more just a physical between the tackles, but that time, again, showing that ability up the middle, great patience on this run. And look at that blocking up front, just beautiful. But then he kicks it out there, and he's got great speed once he gets to the outside. But there was a couple of great blocks by that offensive line opening up these holes.
Gain of 23, 78 yards on 14 carries now for Vassar. It's first down and goal right from the 10. Play action, the throw and a completion, a touchdown to Bush.
Great play call, and that's set up because Christian Vassar really had some great runs on that play. And what it does is it allows that ball fake, it just sucks everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and then you run a slant one-on-one. And these receivers are quick, and Deshaun Bush just makes a great slant route and an easy throw and catch. All set up because why? Because Wayzata can run the football, and you have to respect that. You sell out to stop that. And then they hit you with play action. Beautiful execution. Great play call. Excellent throw.
Melquist boots the extra point through. And Wayzata does respond after the Centennial touchdown. They go 80 yards and now retake the lead at 17-14.
And you know, the issue, John, the hard part about defending them is you end up bringing the safety up towards the line of scrimmage to help out against the run. And then on that play action, that free safety is coming up, and now your cornerback is one-on-one to the outside. You see great play action, and by the time you look at that space, there's no other defender out there, and it's hard to guard at any level, one-on-one with the whole field there to open. But you can see the quickness of these Wayzata receivers, and Bush setting them up to the outside. Great route, great throw.
Bush's 5th touchdown catch of the season. On his 17th reception of the year. Schmidt.
Keeping those footballs warm. Yeah, that's a fun thing when whoever is able to move on to play in the semifinals, play indoors, is you just know you don't got cold or wind or anything to deal with. It's just wonderful conditions.
Melquist kickoff took a high bounce, gathered it nicely at the 30 and returned 10 yards out to the 40.
Yeah, pretty good field position again for Centennial. And I'll tell you, that last drive, I think Wayzata sensed the urgency on that drive, and they just came out. They were all business. You saw a lot of Christian Vassar. He has 15 carries already, or 14 or 15 carries. So
yeah, 14.
On pace for that 25 to 30 carry game. What a luxury to have that kind of durability.
Good field position for the Cougars to start this drive. They're at their 40-yard line. Pitch goes back. This is O'Neal. He's got some room and just tripped up at midfield, or he might have gone a lot further.
Well, I'll tell you what, these running backs do a great job blocking for each other. You're going to see at the top of your screen, number 21, that's Noah Larson. Look at this block. He drives that guy completely out of the play. And if he doesn't get tripped up there, he might take that one all the way. They've had really good success running that option play.
Gain of 14. First down and 10 at the Wayzata 46. So he'll give a second man through, and it's O'Neal again. And he's inside the Wayzata 40, gain of 7.
And really one of the first times we've seen success running up the middle. All their success has come running on the outside. But I think you give Centennial and their offensive line a heck of a lot of credit. Again, giving up size, but very mobile and doing a nice job just getting enough angles. And these running backs are showing their talent too.
O'Neal in motion. Zoll keeping, and he's hit, and nowhere to go for number 7 this time.
I'll tell you, those slower ball fakes where he's riding out that fake, the Wayzata is they're getting excellent penetration into that backfield.
Drew Berkland and Friendzone on tackle on that one. 3rd down and 3.
But again, because they had such a success on first down, John, third and short, this is both of these. I mean, everyone obviously wants to be in 3rd and short rather than 3rd and long, but when you're a running football team, it kind of keeps everything out on the table as far as what you can run.
And Centennial used a timeout, their second. A reminder that each week you can vote for our high school play of the week on our website. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. Go to ccxmedia.org, click on the sports tab, then go to CCX Play of the Week for new plays each week for you to choose from. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove.
Well, how about our crew here tonight in the last couple of days that they've had with all the action? We had football last night. They've had volleyball a couple of days. So just a shout out to our wonderful camera people and crew and all the coverage that they provide our viewers, and that's pretty awesome.
It absolutely is. Wayzata volleyball in the state championship now tomorrow. They won yesterday against Elk River. Friday morning against.
Look at that. That looks like Darth Vader out there, keeping warm.
We're in the press box, which, although it's not heated, we're out of the.
Well, I have the window cracked here 2 inches, so we're toughing it out too.
They'll play Egan for the state title. Wayzata volleyball Saturday at 5 p.m. On the 3rd down and 3, flashing, trying to get to the first down sticks. It'll be very close. Matt Schmidt on the tackle, and it looks like where they've marked him, and it is enough for the first down.
Yeah, that was a collision, too. A great tackle that time. But flashing what I like, no hesitation. He hit that hard in his momentum, even though there was contact right at about a yard down the line of scrimmage. Watch his feet and his legs just propel him forward. Great play call, and that's what you got to do when you need a couple of yards. You got to hit that hole hard.
New set of downs for Centennial. Time winding down here in the second quarter. Play action, the big rush of the ball is fumble, and it's picked up. This is going to be 6 points for Wayzata. Flag is out. Berkland has it. He is into the end zone for a touchdown. I see. Maybe it was just the bag that came out from the official.
Yeah, I swear I saw that too. I thought a flag was thrown as well. That is a touchdown.
All right. Sideline warning. They said they were on the coming out of the field. How about that play?
Wow.
Rokes comes in and pops it loose, and Berkland picks it up and returns it for a touchdown.
Well, and again, you see that ball on the ground, and you see blue jerseys just swarm to it, and Berkland had the wherewithal to pick that up, not just dive on it, but pick it up and then take it to the house. Here's a play fake, not buying it at all, and great hands. That's just a beautiful job slapping that out. And Berkland takes care of the rest. And you think Wayzata was excited? I don't think I've ever seen coaches run as fast. They were running along with Berkland on the sideline. Coach Brown got to be careful. He might pull a hamstring on something like that.
55 yards on the fumble recovery by Drew Berkland. Ashaka Rokes gets credit for the forced fumble. And just like that. And how about this, as you look at the extra point, Centennial perhaps going in for a score to put them
Take
back.
the lead, yep.
And all of a sudden now they're down by 10.
Yep.
That's a huge play.
It is, and it was a little bit slower developing. It was a ball fake. And I'll tell you, Wayzata has been in that backfield so quickly tonight. And I'll tell you, Rokes just great hands slapping that ball away, and you got to, as a quarterback, got to secure that ball with 2 hands. And Berkland picks it up, and only a sophomore, but he's a playmaker. They trust him in punt returns and kickoff returns some, and that time he picked it up. He knew right what to do with that. And I think that got Coach Brown fired up as well. And I'll tell you what it does too, John, is like you said, instead of Centennial possibly scoring before half, tying it up or taking the lead, now you see their sideline. They look dejected. They know they've played a really good first half, and to see that you're still down by 10 points, that can be dejecting a little bit.
24-14 in a high-scoring first half, 1:17 to play before halftime. Melquist hasn't kicked any of them deep so far tonight. He'll line drive another one that'll be picked up at the 27-yard line and grabbed out of bounds. And again, Centennial have good field position. It's returned close to the 40-yard line. And it's Brendan Rika returned the last kickoff return, returning this one. So Centennial's got some time left, a minute 10, just one timeout remaining. The ball at their own 39-yard line as they start this drive and try to answer back after the fumble return for the touchdown by Wayzata.
Please report to the track right in front of the Osseo. This is for halftime Thank you.
I see how the Cougars play this, how aggressive they get on their play calling here. That are all of their timeouts remaining. Neal comes in motion, flashing hit and driven back. Rokes on the tackle for loss along with Matt Schmidt. Paige Knutson also in on it. It's Schmidt and Rokes to do the majority of work there. Malachi Jackson giving a little push. Forward progress makes it actually no gain. It looked a lot worse. They were ready that time. And Centennial will just let this clock run down here. We can pop a big one, all the better, but now we're down to 30 seconds and they're in no hurry to get back up to the line of scrimmage. Fake the handoff, and Zulk just about lost his head. Joe Demrow comes in with the tackle for loss. His 21st tackle for loss in the season. That's 99. Comes off his blocker and makes the tackle, and that will be the end of the first half. The momentum which Centennial had middle of that second quarter and lost late on the long touchdown drive, and then the fumble recovery for the score as we get to halftime, and Wayzata taking a 24-14 lead into the break. Well, a good first half of football, and Wayzata coming back, didn't panic when they fell behind briefly there after the touchdown pass from Zulk to O'Neill. Come back, drive at 80 yards, capped off by the touchdown pass from Tom Schmidt to Deshaun Bush. And then the defense comes up with the big play. Shaka Rokes forcing the fumble. And then the fumble recovery, scooped up by Berklund and returned the rest of the way for the touchdown, 55 yards. He gives us a 24-14 lead, which Iverson's trying to gather in Coach Diggins, who the Centennial team going off to the far sidelines. We'll see if we can get our coaches here before we go to break. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. More of our halftime here at Chanhassen. Our score, Wayzata 24, Centennial 14. More Class 6A football on CCX after this.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hey! There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Centennial fans bundled up across the way. Their team trailing 24-14 against Wayzata here as we get ready for the start of the second half. Teams.
They're happy, though. They got pizza.
Pizza.
Yep.
You don't need anything more than that, right?
That's how you keep high school kids happy. You just hand out free pizza.
Mentioned Wayzata volleyball in the state tournament. They won their quarterfinal round match yesterday and then took care of business against North St. Paul today. A very strong team, winning both of their matches in 3 sets. And they will go on to the state final. First time they've been in the state championship since 2010. Really a complete team that's not lost a 5-set match all season. Had some regular season tournament losses. 30-3 on the season. They'll take out an Egan team that's 31-0.
Wow.
Tomorrow at 5 p.m. at XL Energy Center. Great place to watch volleyball, and Wayzata with a good chance, although against a very talented Egan team tomorrow. Last night at Park Center High School, Jay Wilcox and Ryan Iverson run in hand along with our crew for 6A semifinal football. Rosemont against Champlin Park, and Champlin Park shutting out the Irish 21-0 in the second half. Go on to win 34-7. Jace Miller, 3 touchdowns rushing, 2 passing, and they rolled. They really look strong, and they lost just once this season to Centennial early in the year, and the Rebels are into the state semifinals next week against Lakeville North on Thursday. So here's a look at the bracket for that half. Wayzata and Lakeville South in progress right now, and both leading South on top of Mount View 17-7. Wayzata here up by 10. Champlin Park and Lakeville North advanced last night. Those teams will play next Thursday at US Bank. And again, the winner of tonight's game play next Friday at US Bank.
And I look at that, and let's say Wayzata maintains this lead and Lakeville South maintains theirs. Any four of those teams, I feel like, could win the state championship this year. That's what's kind of fun about it. You know, I still believe Wayzata might be the most complete team, but Lakeville South runs that tricky offense similar to what we saw with Elk River last week. It's hard to defend when you don't see it very often. You can't simulate it. And Champlin Park with, hopefully they get their great running back Shipman back and healthy, but they're as complete of a football team as well. Lakeville North, defending champs, right? So you never discount them. They got a couple of great players on that team. So really wide open. Going to be a lot of fun here as we get down to the end of football season. Seems like just yesterday we had opening night, and here we are.
I was looking at the Wayzata Edina highlights to prep for this game earlier this week, and you and I are in short sleeves for the pregame. There's sunshine throughout the first half.
Coach Brown in shorts.
Right,
and,
all that.
No, definitely different, but it goes fast. And, that's a big takeaway. John, I'm going to be 40 in 2 weeks, and I can tell you the smells of the games I played in high school. It's something that sticks with you forever, but it goes so fast. You want to tell all these seniors and even some of the younger kids that are playing, it goes fast. Enjoy it because it's a time of your life and certainly a lot of fun to be a part of it.
Wayzata leads Centennial 24-14. Winner to move inside next Friday night. Take a break, come back with more of our halftime intermission on CCX.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
Honey, have you seen my cell phone?
But don't just imagine.
My park came to life?
Ooh, a plot twist!
Use STEM to build, create.
She did it!
And change the world.
Who's with me?
I'm more of a 2 feet on the ground kind of guy.
Oh, it's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Wayzata 24, Centennial 14. Halftime of 6A quarterfinal round football from Chanhassen High School. As we look at highlights from the first 24 minutes of play here tonight at Chan, and Wayzata getting the first points of the night. Tom Schmidt throwing, and the touchdown catch by Luke Bodine put the Trojans on the board, made it 7-0 late in the first quarter, and then Centennial answers right back on the long run by Noah Larson, 44 yards for the TD. Extra point was good. That tied it at 7 with 43 seconds left in the first quarter. That's the way we went to the intermission. Then this following kickoff recovered by Centennial. One of the big plays of the first half, and then here was another one. Turnover by Centennial. It's fumble recovery made by Hayden Davison. Defense gave up some plays, but also they make their presence known right along that defensive line.
Looks like the Incredible Hulk there. This is a great play fake, excellent play action, and a great throw. Took a monster hit there, Connor Zolk did, but able to execute. Watch this hit he takes after he throws that.
Zolk to O'Neill for the touchdown. That puts Centennial ahead 14-10 with 6:15 to go in the second quarter. Wayzata answers right back with a touchdown drive. Sean Bush from Tom Schmidt on the score to make it 17-14 with 3:57 left.
Great route
in the half. And then really maybe the key play of the half. Centennial trying to drive for another score. Ashanka Rokes strips the ball away, and then picked up, and Drew Birkeland runs it the rest of the way. 56 yards on the fumble recovery by Birkeland and to make it 24-14. You look at the numbers at halftime. Rushing yards about even. Passing yards, the edge to Wayzata. Total yards, 202 to 147. And then, of course, the big thing, points off turnovers. Wayzata 10 off of the 2 Centennial turnovers.
Well, and the thing that was so demoralizing, John, about that touchdown that Wayzata got late in the half, the defensive score is, obviously it's 7 points, but if you're Centennial, you'll feel like, man, we played a pretty good half. And here we are, we're still down by 10. So I think if they can take care of the football, and get off to a good start here in the second half. Now Wayzata's going to receive the kickoff. Centennial defense, this is a big drive here. If they can get a 3-and-out, get a stop, and get a score and get right back into it. But overall, I feel like Centennial's played a pretty good game, and that's the problem when you play a team like Wayzata. You almost have to be perfect, John, to beat them.
And Wayzata will get the ball first here to start the second half, and I think big for Centennial defense to get a stop and get the ball back for their offense. You don't want to go down 17.
No, and that's where Wayzata can really wear on you too, John, when they get a lead because they run the football. And much like Eden Prairie has done for years, they notorious for getting a lead and then doing these 80, 90-yard drives that take 9 minutes off the clock, right? They're not home runs, but it's 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, and almost a suffocating offense. It just sucks the life out of the game, and that's what's hard about Wayzata. And they're so big and physical, and Christian Vassar with 14 carries here early on, he seems to only get better as the game goes on because he's so physical. So Centennial's got its work cut out for him, but I think overall got to be pretty pleased with how they've played here in the first half.
Take another timeout. More from Chan Hansen after this. Our score at halftime. Wayzata 24, Centennial 14.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Both teams back out of the field. Wayzata leading Centennial 24-14. Leading rusher in this game, Christian Vassar, 14 carries for 78 yards. Centennial's leading rusher, Noah Larson, 3 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. The quarterbacks, Tom Schmidt of Wayzata, 6 of 8 passing, 2 touchdowns, 93 yards through the air. Connor Zolk, 4 of 5 passing, 1 touchdown and 48 yards on his 4 completions tonight. Wayzata will get the ball to begin the second half. We're ready to go down to the sideline now, and Ryan Iverson standing by with Lambert Brown.
Coach, when I was in high school, I played at Eden Prairie. We blew a lot of teams out during the year, undefeated. And then we got in the prep bowl and we found ourselves trailing. And our coach, Coach Mike Grant, told me, he's like, we'll find out what kind of team you are. Absolutely. You guys were down 14-10 there. How'd you respond? A great drive on offense and then a big touchdown there right before half.
We just about, that's a bit right there, respond, right? When we're going to go through some adversity and fight through that. And we just going to say we've been here before. Play our game. This is just about execution, and we're playing a good football team, a state tournament, and this is what it's about.
What'd you like in the first half that you saw?
I think our kids are fighting hard. They're adjusting well. Right, we got to execute a little bit better. But I think our D is flying around, and I think they've adjusted a little bit. Just takes sometimes a little bit of time to adjust to that triple option, and they seem to be settled in right now, and we just got to go execute the second half.
You want to win, but what do you want to see most out of your team that will make you feel good as you guys move on, hopefully, in the playoffs?
I just want to go out and execute. Really execute. Our kids are going to play hard, they don't need much motivation right now. They don't need motivational speeches. They need just to go and execute and play their game. And so I just want to see them come out and come together and execute. So
you got great energy. I'm surprised you're not in shorts right now. I see long sleeves. What's going on?
Right now, I'm sweating my butt off right now, but it's good. It's been
Enjoy the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back up to you, John.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Coach Brown, taking a few moments with us. We were able to catch up with Coach Diggins at halftime as he ran off with his squad before we could get him coming out at the end of the second quarter. So Centennial will kick off to begin the second half, trailing by 10 here against this Wayzata team. It's not lost in the season. Had some close games against some good teams, but you saw 10-0 on the year coming in to play tonight. Lakeville South, as you saw our scoreboard at halftime, ahead of Mounds View tonight, also by 10 points, and perhaps setting up a matchup in the semifinals between Lakeville South and Wayzata if the leads hold, I should say, as we get ready for one more half of outdoor football in 6A football. A lot of football around the state tomorrow as well on Saturday in some of the smaller classes, including 5A. Trojans, I think, feeling better about their game after those last two drives, like Coach Brown had said, both on offense and then making the big play on defense, and then making sure Centennial didn't get anything going in the last minute of play there, shutting down their offense. Centennial kick team back on as Zulk gets ready to set the ball back on the tee. And now Wayzata will get their return team out.
Sports are winners, no matter what the score. Good sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. You keep the standards up and the game enjoyable for all by showing respect for players, coaches, and officials.
Sam Robertson and Anthony Ukofia are the deep men for Centennial. Zulk gets ready to kick off. This one will go and be handled at the 11 by Robertson to the 15. Pretty well pursued downfield by Centennial. And that is all the farther you will get. Ran laterally across the field and finally chased down by Justin Dose. So inside the 20-yard line for Centennial, for Wayzata rather, to start the second half. First down and 10 at their 15.
Trojans have it first for 10 from their own 15-yard line.
Jackson and Vassar in the backfield. Christian Vassar will follow Jackson. Now cut back inside. Gets out across the 20 to the 22 and a gain of 7 on Vassar's first carry of the second half after 14 rushes in the first half. Closer to 8 yards as they mark him near the 23. So a good first down run to start the half for Christian Vassar in this Wayzata offense. Give it to him again. Got a first down and more. 30-yard line. Pops to the outside and he's free. To midfield. Down to the 40-yard line of Centennial. Gain of 37 yards for Vassar.
Yeah, that's what he does, John. He just wears on. You could see there was some good penetration in the backfield there, but he runs right through that arm tackle and pops it outside, and he's got that big playability as well.
First down and 10, ball at the 41 of Centennial.
This is a big drive for both teams. I think if you're Wayzata, you march down and you can punctuate and go up by 17 points. You're feeling pretty good about yourselves. You're forcing Centennial to play from behind.
Flag down, and this one will only get a yard. Gain of just one. We'll see what the call is. usually where you see offensive holding. Wayzata moving back.
Great call, John.
How about that? Took a lot to call that one. Third penalty for Wayzata on the night for 35 yards.
I'd say it's been a pretty clean game, I think, by both teams. Not a ton of penalties. And
none for Centennial.
Yeah.
Right? So they're back to their 48-yard line. Officially first and 21 from where they're at right now. Schmidt wanting to throw. He's got plenty of time. Throws over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Mason Mix. Driven out of bounds at the Wayzata 43-yard line.
What a play by Mix. He just sat back there and read Thomas Schmidt's eyes and made a great play. And not only did he make a good play, but he got a nice return. And there's a flag there at the end of the play. And a rare bad decision by Tom Schmidt. He's been so protective of the football all year long. Only 2 interceptions. And that time threw it right in the hands of Mix. It's going to be on, I think, on the coach. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Centennial.
Unsportsmanlike against.
Well, and that's big because that's going to bring it back 15 yards. So you're going to negate quite a bit on that return. See Schmidt upset with himself on that throw. I'll tell you the biggest difference on that time, Mason Mix as a linebacker got great depth on his drop and got right in that passing lane. You see the play action that time didn't fool anybody. Good protection, so you didn't have to throw early. But again, pretty well covered, and there's Mix. You see how deep he got, John, on that? He's a good, 15-yard depth on that. Let's see if we can see what happened at the end of the play here.
I don't know if he felt there was a late hit there that wasn't called. I think that's what happened that drew the flag. So Centennial, Coach Diggins getting an explanation. Assistants, I believe, got the call for saying one too many words, or the wrong words, right? And to the penalty. Post possession, so Centennial does keep it on the turnover, but back inside their 45-yard line. This is Zolk keeping the ball and carries it out to near the 49-yard line. Ukofia on the stop, but not before Connor Zolk got 7 yards.
Great ball fake that time. You saw the defense collapse. You see Demro tackled, I believe, flashing on that. But one thing we didn't see is a lot of Connor Zolk running the football in the first half. He had a couple of great throws, ran the option really well, but they're going to need him to get going, try to get him free into that second level because he's a very, very talented runner.
Yeah, rushed for nearly 900 yards this season. Tonight, just 4 yards rushing total. And there's a hit in the backfield. That's a tackle for loss. Malachi Jackson getting in there to loss of 3.
Well, he's doing that all night long, John. He is timing watch where he comes from the top of your screen. And he's done that all night. He's either tackling the quarterback or that fake right there, and that time tackled both of them. He's a tremendous athlete. 6'2", 210 pounds, and he's fast and explosive. And he's been in the backfield and disruptive all evening long.
On third down now. Zolk will look back toward the sideline.
See Centennial going with a hard count there, trying to get Wayzata to jump off sides, but they don't take the bait.
Bale in motion. He's got the edge. He's got a first down into Wayzata territory, and he springs himself inside the 40, down to the 39 of Wayzata.
I'll tell you, John, I like Centennial's plays when there's no slow fakes, when they're just going. That time they run that pre-snap motion, the zip, and they get a great handoff to O'Neal, and he doesn't hesitate, he just goes. When they've had slower ball fakes, that's allowed the penetration of Wayzata to get into the backfield. That time they go to the short side of the field. Great call and good execution.
O'Neal tonight, 3 carries, 35 yards. That one picked up 14. First and 10 at the Wayzata 39.
And also caught a touchdown pass, too,
Right.
in the first half.
Give us to Flashing, and he's got a nice hole. The right side. He'll gain 7, close to 8 yards. We'll give him 8. Second down and 2.
Well, you think about where this game could have gone. If Wayzata marches down and scores there, you almost feel like it's over. Instead, you get that big interception. Now Centennial having some really nice rhythm on offense. This is the Centennial offense you've seen all year long, kind of picking their spots, switching up who's getting the ball. We saw Connor Zulk have a big run, so now they're kind of hitting on all cylinders. And a score here is a must to get back into the football game.
Second and 2. Zulk will keep. And he's hit, but he gets enough for the first down. He'll pick up 3.
Well, Zulk's a big kid, too. He's 6'3", 205 pounds. And, you know, he's taken a couple of big guys, including Joe Demro, who's a monster. He's taking them forward, so he's got to use his power and his strength, too. And that time does it. Picks up, you know, great players just know where that first down marker is, and you fall and just get just enough.
First and 10 at the 28 of Wayzata. Centennial driving, trying to take advantage of the turnover. And off to Flashing. He'll get a couple yards to the 25-yard line. Jackson on the tackle. Second down and 7.
I'll tell you, that's a win. You get positive yards. You know, you don't need a home run. And I'll tell you, too, you get the feeling. Remember that their big play they got in the passing game was out of play action. They've been running the ball successfully here, maybe setting up for play action down the field. You take a look at Coach Diggins was still talking to the referee about, I think, that unsportsmanlike conduct. Maybe not too thrilled with that call.
On second down, inside handoff down to the 21-yard line. A gain of 4 for Flashing again. Set up 3rd and short, 3rd and 3.
And again, just downhill. Flashing does a good job. Tim O'Neill does a good job of just hitting that hole hard. Not trying to do too much, but getting positive yards. You get 4 or 5 yards on second down. Now you're in that 3rd and manageable again. You got a short field. Remember, they've had great success, John, running the option to the left side of the field.
Now offensive line, Wolf, Sonderman, Boyd, Schultz, Johnson, most of the way have done a good job tonight on this drive to make it 3rd down and 3. And off, and this time, Flashing is hit at the line of scrimmage and will be 4th down.
That was some collision right there. Matthew Schmidt, linebacker number 23, coming up and delivering a big hit. And this time, watch where the collision happens. There's no forward momentum there. That was like running into a blue wall. Setting up a big 4th and 2 here.
4th down and 2 from the 20. Try the hard count. That doesn't work.
Good discipline by the Trojans there.
Give and a first down and more. Popping to the outside. Larson's free. It's a touchdown. Second touchdown run of the night for the senior captain, Noah Larson.
Well, we've talked all night about how great Christian Vassar is, and he is, but Noah Larson's had himself a ball game too. And again, they seem to get big plays going to the left and really well executed, well blocked. And that quick sweep to Noah Larson, he gets to the outside. He's got great speed as well. And that's a big drive by the Cougars to get back into this football game.
The next extra point is up and is through. And we got a 3-point game here with just under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Converted a couple of big 3rd downs that time. That time 4th and 2. And he's had 2 big touchdowns, 44-yard touchdown run and a 20-yard touchdown run. And getting that jet sweep, and it's just quick. Excellent kick-out block right there, super block. And as soon as Larson gets to the outside, he has the wherewithal to make that great cut back up to the middle of the field and takes it all the way to the house. And I love that. You see how excited Centennial is? And again, I think they're going to get Tim O'Neill, number 4. That's who had that great kick-out block. But you can tell when a team believes that they're onto something, they get excited. You can see linemen are running down, the fans are going crazy. The Centennial team, when you hang around long enough, you start to believe that, hey, maybe we can do this. Let's do this. The unfortunate thing is every time Wayzata's kind of needed an answer, they've gotten it, and their offense has come through. So now it's going to be up to that Cougar defense to come up with another big play.
Larson tonight, just 4 carries, but for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That is what you call efficient.
Line drive kick handled by Robertson at the 15, trying to go wide again. Gets to the 25, and tackled by Flashing after return of 10. The other 6A quarterfinal round game going on tonight was they have a mix of players back away from the ball up near closer to midfield. The helmet off or ripped off. We didn't see which one on Andrew Streeter, who's coming back, and the special teams guy and a linebacker. Flag is out. Wayzata believes it's against Centennial. And we'll get the call here. And sportsmanlike. Oh, against Wayzata. We're going to have it each way. Yeah. Offsetting. And Wayzata will take it at their 25-yard line.
Yeah, how about Mounds View getting back into that game, 17-14. Mounds View is one of those that you probably don't know a whole lot of their players, but they're just tough and strong, and every year seem to be in the mix. But good open field tackle there on the kickoff, and this Cougar defense riding a little bit of momentum after that big play. And you know, John, whether you're a great team or a poor team, the one thing that can get you off course is turnovers. We saw Centennial have that one. Wayzata capitalized on it in the first half, scoring 10 points off of turnovers. That time Centennial with the big pick, and they're able to capitalize and get 7 points. So turnovers are the one thing that can negate a great team.
Centennial fans, you can hear them from across the field. And they fire up their team. They go right back to the air. Smith throwing, he's got a man wide open. Wildermuth into Centennial territory. And down at the 47-yard line of the Cougars.
Well, you know what I love about that is you trust in your quarterback. His last throw, an interception, you're saying, we believe in you. First play, we're going right back to you to make a big play. And he threw it up high to the outside. Not an easy catch, too. Wildermuth had to turn his body around to hold on to that. Kind of lost his balance on that, but a great throw, great catch.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Here is Vassar. He breaks a tackle. He's in the open. The 40 to the 30. Christian Vassar for the touchdown. 2 plays, 75 yards, and Wayzata answers right back.
How many arm tackles did he run through on that, John? You got to wrap him up when you get the chance. He's so strong and powerful, and then he gets to that open field. And what I loved about it, did you see him pointing up ahead to his receiver? Great vision, communicating, reading that block. Even when he's running full speed in the open field, he's got great patience. He's reading what the defenders are doing. And again, like I just said a couple minutes ago, every time you've had a question for Wayzata, they've answered it. 2 plays, 75 yards, just like that.
Melquist for the extra point. And it's 31-21. Wayzata back in front by 10.
Like I said, that young man seems to only get better the more he touches the ball, but there's 1 tackle, 2 tackles. And again, he's pointing, he's reading that block. Great block down the field, too, by Deshaun Bush. And Vassar just waltzes into the end zone. Great kick out, but there's 2 missed tackles there. There's a 3rd missed tackle. And you watch him on film, and you think he's not that shifty, right? But he is. He's got great footwork. And you combine that with speed, and you combine it with great blocking, and that's what you get, a tremendous running back with outstanding statistics, too, his 17th touchdown.
90 yards rushing and 3 carries in the second half.
Wow.
Gives him 168 on the ground tonight.
That's not a bad couple of games for some running backs. Here we still have a quarter and a half left to play, so very dominant.
Back and forth we go. This one will spin toward the sideline, out of bounds, and in a good field position for Centennial after the penalty on Wayzata on the kick out of bounds.
Don't you think that's deflating for Centennial after that interception? You
Yeah.
go down and score, you're down 3, you're feeling like you're right back, and just like that, 2 quick plays, and it's a touchdown. And the one thing you get is you feel like Wayzata could do that every time, whereas you feel like Centennial's really got to work to get their points. And they executed a couple of big 3rd downs, the big 4th down conversion on that last drive. And now again, you put a lot of pressure on this Cougar offense to have to respond.
They'll start this drive from the 35 after the penalty on the kickoff. So keeping, breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and gets out past the 40-yard line to the 43. Nice gain of 8 on first down. The flag is out.
The face mask? It's just going to be the 5-yard variety.
It will be enough for a first down.
It was a heck of a run, too. Connor Zolk is elusive. Looked like he was wrapped up. Again, you see Jackson right there, had his hands on him, but great job fighting and breaking free there. And there you see that face mask right at the very end of the play by Birkland.
New line of scrimmage is the 48 for the Cougars. First down fake, so keeping into Wayzata territory. Oh, first down run didn't look like much. At the end of the day, he's got 6 yards.
No, those are good wins. Those are great wins. Again, kind of that slow fake there, but he does a good job and actually really well played by Desalich, too, number 40. He was waiting for him, but just a great cut up the field. And again, he's a strong kid, so he's able to carry that momentum forward. And 6 yards on first down, that's a win for an offense.
From the 46 of Wayzata, second down and 4. As we wind down toward 3 minutes to go. Flashing and not much doing up the middle there as he's hit. And a gain of 1 to the 45.
Well, Brian Glomstad, number 60, did a great job that time, getting excellent penetration, and they get that push up the middle.
Third and 3 for the Cougars.
I like the Cougars when they've hit those quick hitters, when they're not trying to slow, when they have those slower fakes. I think this Wayzata defensive line just too athletic.
It's O'Neill in motion. He'll get the pitch. O'Neill looks like he got the first down, where he stepped out.
Yep, they're going to give it to him.
And he does get it. Yes, gain of 4.
Well, every time they've ran the option tonight, John, they've had success with it. I think that it's a hard play to execute because you have to have a quarterback that you absolutely trust. And Connor Zolk, again, holds on to it and pitches it right at the perfect time. And he's been accurate, too. And it's not easy when you know you're about to take a hit.
First and 10 from the 41. Fake the flashing. Zolk keeping, spins. He's got 4, maybe 5 more down to the 36-yard line. Tackle made by Desalich. It is a gain of 5.
Yep, again, great ball fake. Everyone tackles flashing there, and before you even know it, Zolk's got 5 yards again on first down. So, again, nothing too flashy. They're pretty consistent, they're running the same types of plays, but they're running them effectively, John.
Under 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Centennial on the move, second down and 5 at the Trojans' 36. O'Neill in motion, fake, they give his to flashing. And again, a gain of 1, Demro in on the stop. Very similar to this last set of downs, third down and 4.
Demro, great push that time. And when you're playing against a team like Centennial, or we saw last week in Elk River, where you don't necessarily know who has the ball, you got to tackle your responsibility. And you've seen Demro oftentimes tackled flashing even when he doesn't have the football. and you just got to trust your teammates. Everyone's got to do their job. It sets up a huge third down here.
Wayzata fans in front of us getting fired up. On the third down play, Zolt carrying. He leans forward. He's going to be shy of the first down. It'll be fourth down and less than one.
That time they ran the option to the left, and that time Zolt kept it. And I thought it was a good decision. He made a quick decision and able to kind of keep that momentum going forward. Got positive yards. Now you set up a 4th and short.
Huge play for Centennial.
Yeah, it is. This is where you want to just get that quick hitter going forward. You got to pick up that first down.
Lindsay, the receiver, to the top of your screen. Give the flashing, and he's got the first down to the 30-yard line and pick up of 2.
Yep, nice push up front that time. Jared Schultz, number 54, did an excellent job of firing off that ball and just giving flashing just enough seam to be able to get up the middle and get that first down. I think that's going to be the last play. Good double team up front. You see number 54, he's a good 4 or 5 yards driving down the field. Excellent job by that offensive line.
That is the end of the third quarter. Our score now, Wayzata 31, Centennial 21. Fourth quarter coming up next from Chanhassen on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Wayzata 31, Centennial 21. 1 quarter to go here. Winner moving on to US Bank Stadium next Friday night. Centennial, the first down and 10 after that 4th down conversion. They've got the ball at the Wayzata 29-yard line, trailing by 10. Lakeville South back up by 10 against Moundview, 24-14. That one late in the third quarter. Still keeping. Good first down run. Took a big pop and hangs onto the ball. Gains 4 yards to the 25. Malachi Jackson in on the stop.
Well, and the key for Centennial is they're winning first down, John. They're getting consistently 5-6 yards on first down. That's huge for their offense. And you got to keep in mind, too, the Cougars are doing this without Carter Anderson, their best wide receiver, maybe one of the best wide receivers in the metro area, out with a broken leg. So win or lose, I think you give the Cougars a ton of credit tonight in the way they've performed and executed shorthanded.
Yeah, he was a big downfield threat for them. Got hurt last week against Edina.
Yeah, that looked like someone moved there on the offensive line.
It'll be just the second penalty of the night against Centennial. The other one was on the bench. This is the first one on the field. There you see the little movement by the left guard ahead of the snap.
Yeah, and those are big because instead of second and short, now you're kind of back to 2nd and 10. You know, penalties and turnovers. 2 things I alluded to in the beginning of the game that Centennial had to avoid. A couple of the turnovers in the first half, that time a costly penalty.
Pitch goes out to O'Neill. Turns the corner, 25-yard line to the 24. Tackled on the play by Birkland. But a good pickup after the penalty to bring up 3rd down and 4. Gain of 6.
Nice pitch and, you know, pretty well defended that time. And I thought that, you know, really showing some speed there, O'Neill was. Matthew Schmidt was waiting for him the outside, and O'Neill just turned the burners on, able to get to the outside and pick up 6 yards.
Line of scrimmage is the 23-yard line. 3rd down and 4 for the Cougars. Hand off to Flashing. It'll be 4th down. Short gain. 4th and about, I don't know, they got much. About half a yard maybe. Still close to 3.
And I think Wayzata knew what was happening there. They bring some pressure. Matthew Schmidt, linebacker, blitzes right through that A gap and was waiting for Flashing. And he wants more of it. He's excited. He's fired up. I'll tell you, it's fun when you're a linebacker and you guess right, you blitz it in the right hole, and he met Flashing there right at the line of scrimmage.
Another big play for the Cougars here. Another 4th down play. And we'll get a timeout by Centennial.
Well, and that's a huge timeout. And obviously, Coach Diggins wants to make sure they're in the right play. You got to convert this 4th down here. But being down 10, if you were to score timeouts, time of possession, all that stuff could really come into play towards the end of a game. So having to burn a timeout right now could be something to keep an eye on. Look at Lakeville South adding another score. How funny is this? You got 2 big high school football games in 6A going on within about 5 miles of each other. That one being played at Eden Prairie, this one here at Chanhassen High School. And my first time at this facility here. It's a beautiful field, great setup, outstanding facilities here at Chanhassen.
We want to thank the staff and the athletic staff here, very welcoming to us to let us do the game here and help out our staff. And they got food here in the press box, and they gave everybody water. It's top notch, right?
Yeah, I think every high school should start doing that.
Feed the monster, right? 4th down and 3 for Centennial.
They're going to come back going to the left side here, John. You're going to see an option or the jet sweep to Noah Larson.
And goalkeeping, and they got him. He stopped for loss. Matt Schmidt again comes in and makes the tackle. Finished off by Luke Deselich. And Centennial turns it over on downs. So gets 1, but he needed 3.
Well, great play by Matt Schmidt. Again, he came right up the seam. You see number 23 gets off that block, and look at him come back and watch him hold on to the legs right there. And as strong as Connor Zolka is, when you got your legs held like that, you just can't move forward. And a big, big, big play.
Twin brother of the quarterback, Tom Schmidt, and those guys will have something to talk about tonight if this lead holds.
I wonder how they do against each other in practice if the number ones go against each other. I'm sure it's quite competitive.
First down, give. Up the middle is Vassar. Another nice hole. He's got a first down. Gain of 12 out to the 33. Vassar 180 yards now on 18 carries.
He runs with a great patience, John. Watch him right here, kind of wait. He sees where the hole develops, and he's got those great feet. Every good running back's got a great set of feet on him. He's patient and makes that cut, and then he hits the hole hard. Beautiful run.
They fake this time. Schmidt throwing to the outside of Wildermuth and incomplete.
Well, it was complete, but to a Centennial coach on the sideline.
But threw it where it wasn't going to be picked off.
Yep.
He threw it to the outside of Wildermuth. Schmidt tonight, 7 of 11, 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception in this half.
Great catch. But yeah, well defended. I think Centennial's done a pretty nice job tonight with their pass coverage down the field. And that one, again, when you're a cornerback, you use that sideline to your advantage, and well covered, but you're right, a smart throw that time. If it's not going to be complete, the worst thing it's going to be is incomplete. We're not turning the ball over.
Flag is down. Vassar gets the carry. Not a lot on that run. A couple of yards to the 36. It's maybe against Wayzata. It was thrown right at the line of scrimmage as the ball was snapped. Centennial's going to have a choice here. They take the 5 yards or they take the play. And they will take the full start 5-yard penalty against Wayzata.
At this point, too, down by 10 with 9:32 left. The clock starts to come into play here, John, if you're Centennial. Trying to get that that turnover, trying to rip that ball out, trying to force a punt here, but you got to start thinking about the time.
And off to Vassar. He's hitting the backfield, gained maybe a yard.
Good.
Well defended by Centennial.
Yeah, a couple of white jerseys. One of the few times you've seen that tonight with penetration into the backfield. They're able to get their hands on Vassar before he can make a move up the field. Nice job defensively. And with that penalty now, 3rd and very long, keep everything in front of you. You'll give up 5 or 6 yards here, but nothing over the top.
3rd and 16. Schmidt rolling out. Got a man and incomplete. Intended receiver was Bush. And incomplete. Cougars able to get back into coverage late.
Well, and I'll tell you what, we can't see it on this angle right here, but Bush had an opening. I thought that time Tom Schmidt held onto the ball just a little bit. Right now is when you want to throw that. That ball hangs in the air a little bit too much, allows the Centennial defender, Isaac Ankrum, to get back into the play and make a play on the ball. If you're able to throw that about a second earlier and not so high, get a little bit more velocity on it, that might go for 6. Centennial lucky to not have given up a first down at the very minimum on that play.
Well, it skipped to Jack Martinson, but he gets the punt away.
Oh, wow.
And they'll take a Wayzata roll, so go inside the 20 and be down at the 18-yard line.
What a punt.
First punt of the night for Wayzata goes for 54 yards.
He looked like a shortstop, too, just one hop in that one. And remember, too, the tendency is to go down on a knee when you do that. And in high school football, if your knees touch it, that's down. So great job scooping that and then having that quick leg, too, and got a great bounce. But to be great, you got to do it in all phases. You got to have great offense, great defense. But there's going to come time at some point in the season where your special teams are going to have to make plays too. And they're little things like that. Getting what'd you say, 54 or 56 yards?
54, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wayzata will use a timeout, their first charge timeout of the second half. So Centennial's defense holds after the offense turned it over on down. So the offense gets it back, albeit back inside their own 20.
But it's complementary football. When you trust your defense, you don't have to take shots offensively, because then you get a great punt, you switch the field, and now you're saying, hey, we're up 10 with 8:28 left. I don't think you can drive, 84 yards on our defense, and so it all goes hand in hand with each other when you're playing well in every phase of the game.
Ryan, you talked earlier about your days playing at Eden Prairie. You got to see one of your defensive coaches from back in the day here tonight.
Yeah, my defensive coordinator, Ron King, who's one of the most brilliant football minds. And actually, Nick Keenan, the Champlain Park head coach, is here watching the game with him. And I think Ron King taught me more about the game of football than anyone I've ever been around. And he's actually the godfather to my oldest son, Max. So
that's right.
He's a big part of my life. So it was really fun to see him.
First down and 10 for Centennial. Zolk has time to throw and overthrows his receiver Larson out of bounds.
And that's the thing with Centennial is their passes have to come within the rhythm of their offense, play action. If they're just dropping back and going to throw regular routes, I don't think they're going to be as successful. But when they can run the football and then mix in that play action, that's when they can be really, really successful.
Second down and 10 from their 17 for Centennial. And trailing by 10 under 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Zolk is hit and dropped. Malachi Jackson with the sack. A loss of 6.
Again, great play action, but just not any time with Malachi Jackson. He has been in the backfield all night long. You're going to see him and just almost unblocked and so quick. He reads that down block and he gets into that backfield, and I'll tell you, his eyes lit up that time when he realized that Connor Zolk had the football, and finally he got home for a sack. But great penetration as he's done all night long.
3rd and long for Centennial. Zolk, drop back, a little screen pass to flashing, read well by Wayzata, and he's going to be dropped at the 15-yard line. Cole Brown, the junior linebacker, 31, read that play well. Makes the tackle.
And I'm surprised, John, we haven't seen more screens tonight against Wayzata. Their front four is so aggressive coming up the field. And you can see pretty well executed, but the linebackers for Wayzata, as you said it, Cole Brown, number 31, he read it perfectly and he was waiting for it. But sometimes screens against a really aggressive front four, front five, defensive team can be really successful.
Zolko punted away. Trojans will get away from this one. Centennial down it. A short kick. It'll be down at the 44, 28-yard kick, and Wayzata will take over. First down and 10 at the Centennial 44-yard line.
Well, and that's where that 54-yard punt really comes into play. You boom it down there. Centennial unable to get anything going offensively, and now you've let your offense with a short field here. And I think really the chance here to put the dagger in Centennial, if they can march down here and get 6.
Offense back on the field for Wayzata. First down and 10 at the Cougars 44. Vassar lined up next to Schmidt. He'll get the carry. And Vassar will get 4 yards to the Centennial 40 on his 20th carry of the night.
Great kick out block by Graham Viggers, number 58 for Wayzata. And obviously running backs get a lot of the credit and the statistics, but those guys up front certainly have done an excellent job all season long, but especially tonight. Anytime you have over 200 yards rushing as a team, it means your offensive line played pretty well.
Second down and 6. Give to Vassar again. Got a little bit of hole. He's got an opening. 30 down to the 20. And knocked down at the 17-yard line.
Vassar carrying the ball.
Gain of 23 and another Wayzata first down. Vassar over 200 yards rushing now.
Yep, and up the middle, and again, great footwork, bounces it outside, and I'll tell you, he's smooth, isn't he? Isn't that a good way to describe how he runs? Very smooth. Never looks like he's, off balance or in a hurry, just smooth. And you can see knowing when the contact's coming, getting 2 hands over that football as well. Very sure-handed for his number of carries as he has. He really takes care of the football.
5.5 minutes to play. Wayzata in control, leading by 10. And a first down at 10 at the Centennial 17. They'll go to Christian Vassar again. Good blocking for him and breaks a tackle on his feet. Gets 11 yards down to the 6-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that was a great seal by the Wayzata left side of that offensive line. And then there was one Centennial defender unblocked that time, and Christian Vassar able to get out, able to elude that arm tackle and kicks it forward. See, look, watch the blocking. Look at that seal. Looks like a blue wall. And then you can see right here, that's where you got to be able to make that tackle. But Jack Carver doing a great job. Marcus Culp, Jonas Wachowski. And again, just great balance to fight through that arm tackle and pick up a few extra yards.
First down, Schmidt will give to Vassar, trying to pick a hole, and it's a couple of yards.
Tyler Magnuson, big number 77, doing a great job up there.
Vassar tackled by number 55, Elijah Ward.
Gain of 4, second down and goal from the 3.
Second and goal from the 3-yard line.
I'm going to guess number 4 is going to get the ball here.
Well, they like to run the play action, too, out of this, so I wouldn't be surprised. But, yeah, number 4 is going to be involved somehow.
He does get the carry, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
What great blocks up front. Tyler Magnuson, number 77. I watched him the entire play. He kept his block going until a good, Vassar was 2 or 3 yards deep in the end zone. They got a physical offensive line. And when you can open up a hole, and number 4 does not need a whole lot of seam, a lot of space to get going, but he looks better. Well, how many carries does he have in the game, John? He's got to be in the mid-20s, I would imagine.
That was his 24th carry, 226 yards and 2 touchdowns. Melquist, another extra point, and now it's 38-21.
Almost 10 yards a carry, about 9 yards a carry. So these aren't just short gains. He's popping them for big gains, but just a great job up front. And again, you don't need a whole lot of space, especially at the goal line. Christian Vassar's strong enough to be able to just propel him forward. Wayzata crowd, I think, starting to sense that their team's going to be moving indoors. And, we talk year after year, the excitement of being able to go play where the Vikings play, where NFL players play. When I was playing, we got to go to the Metrodome, which at the time was a huge deal. But that beautiful facility, U.S. Bank, it's that week, your whole week is just excited. Everyone in the school's talking about it, and you're changing in the locker rooms where it's just a wonderful feeling. So a lot at stake here, and Wayzata looks, on all accounts, to be heading forward next week to be able to play at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Melquist kickoff taken at the 25. Right down, 35, and brought down at the 37-yard line. First and 10 for the Cougars from there. 3:43 to go. Another flag is up. We had one on a previous kickoff.
Always right at about midfield. Both teams seem to get a little testy on kickoff.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach Brown, you're going to tell your guys, don't get involved in any at this point of the game. And see what the call is. And referees, the officials are going to huddle about it. Sportsmanlike against Wayzata.
Getting offsetting.
Yep. So same thing as the last kickoff.
Well, and keep in mind too, if a player gets multiple ones in a game, they not only get ejected, but they have to sit out the following week. So that's something you got to keep in mind for Wayzata. They got bigger goals, bigger fish to fry than finishing the last 3 minutes and 43 seconds of this game. They got potentially another 2 games to play. So you got to tell your guys, hey, let your play do the talking, walk away and live. Let's just get through this game. No injuries, no ejections, nothing like that.
Centennial trailing by 17. 3:43 to go. The ball at their 37-yard line. And we are set. Zolk wanting to throw on first down and does, and a short completion. Shaka Rokes right in on the tackle, gain of 3 on the pass to Larson.
Well, Rokes is a linebacker. You see how quick he got out there, and he looked like a hard-hitting safety right there. They just got tremendous athletes.
And Zolk goes down. A sack on the play.
Tell you what,
Won't come out. He's got it at the end.
That's a heck of a play by Zolk to recover that ball. He took a hit. Deselich came unblocked there, and you can see Zolk did not see him coming, but what a great job by Zolk to be able to get his hands on that football and recover it.
This is 7. Wayzata comes to the sideline. They're fired up as Centennial takes a timeout, and they can sense it, Ryan.
Yeah, and I think Wayzata, when you're in a passing situation, so athletic up front that you got to almost have maximum protection to be able to allow your quarterback some time to try to make a play down the field.
Pretty good week for Wayzata Athletics. 2 wins so far for the volleyball team, and seemingly a win here for the football team to advance on.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you know, youth basketball, they're great at every level, girls and boys, and they, you know, I know a lot of people just say, well, it's because they're so big, but it really isn't. You can have a lot of kids, but to get that kind of a talent.
Pass goes back to Zulk, then he's going to go downfield. Another throw, and getting turned around and get a flag out, and it'll be pass interference on Wayzata.
That was a
lateral, and then the throw downfield by Zulk.
And actually executed pretty well by Centennial. Kind of a slower developing play, but they blocked it well. He gave Zulk enough time to be able to get some air and step into his throw, showing off his strong arm, and definitely some contact down the field. It's going to be 15 yards. So remember, high school football, it's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL, but it is 15 yards. And yeah, you can see there's definitely some contact. And, you know, that's where Eddie Bennett got great position right there, a tremendous quarterback. Got to get your head around so you can make a play on that football, but definitely contact before that ball arrived.
So Centennial gets a first down at their 48. Zulk throwing and flashing, intended receiver. That might have been a lateral. Looks like they are going to spot it. Skips out of bounds and be a loss on the play. And what a hit. Delivered again.
There were 2 hits on that. I'll tell you what, Connor Zulk took a hit here. As soon as he gets rid of it, Demro took care of him. And then a great hit on the, I think on flashing. Oh boy, Deselich gets a hit in. So 2 monster hits on one play, and it was a lateral, so you're going to have a big loss on that play.
That's a loss of 10. 2nd and 20.
You know, and that's one of those when you're a quarterback, you don't feel it coming from the blind side. Those do not feel good. Connor Zulk's taking some hits tonight, but I'll tell you what, he's a tough kid. He's stood in there and keeps getting up and coming back for more. He certainly hats off to his talent and his toughness and how he's played tonight.
2nd and 20 from the 38 now for the Cougars. Zulk trying to throw in the pocket, overshoots his receiver. Larson and incomplete.
Again, taking a hit as he threw that. But I'll tell you, you know, the difference is now is, and you can see Demro,
Third down and 20.
It's
like
like
a defensive player, you love this when you know the other guy's got to throw, right?
And you love it from every perspective. If you're a defensive lineman, you love it because you get to tee off and go get a sack. And if you're a safety, a linebacker, a cornerback, you know passes are coming. So your eyes start getting wide as you're trying to get an interception here. So
quick throw, gets the completion to O'Neal. Gain 9, but it'll be 4th down from there. 4th and still 11 to go.
Yeah, those are the kind of throws that you know Centennial is going to have to do or had to have done all night long. They're quick throws, so you negate a pass rush. But I'll tell you what, great touch that time by Zulk to get it over because Deselich was in the passing lane there. If that ball is underthrown or doesn't have any touch on it, that might be picked off. So excellent throw, good catch.
Centennial uses their final timeout. Got to come up with a play here that'll gain them 12 yards, fourth down from their own 46.
Here's what they need, JJ. They need a play that'll give them a touchdown, and then they need to bottle up Maple Grove's onside kick ability from a couple of years ago, the game we did.
The Maple Grove Miracles,
Yep.
2 years ago this week.
You know, we showed some highlights of that game last night, and, you know, everyone goes back to the onside kicks. I go to that catch, and I forget who made that catch.
Joe Raymond.
Joe Raymond
Yeah.
at about the 2-yard line. It was one of the greatest high school football catches I've ever seen. And if you remember in that game, he had about 8 or 9 wonderful catches in traffic. But, you know, people still will come up to me once in a while and talk to me about watching that game. That was one of those once in a lifetime kind of games.
Well, this is definitely it for Centennial. 4th down and 12 from their 46. Zolk steps up and down he goes. Rokes with the sack. And that will just about end it.
Well, Demro didn't get the sack, but he forced Zolk to have to step up and right into Rokes, who came on the blitz there, and he finished it off. And that's going to seal it, I believe, for the Cougars.
Shocker Rokes fired up there. Look at the rest of that Wayzata team, Matt Schmidt, and the rest of that defense looking up into their fans up above them, and they know they are on their way to Minneapolis next week. Lakeville South, the opponent, seems like for Wayzata next Friday.
Well, and remember, that was a 17-14 game, so 21 straight points by the Cougars. And Lakeville South Wayzata, #1 seeds, and Champlain Park, a #1 seed, against Lakeville North, a #2 seed.
Christian Vassar, they carry on his feet, gets another first down and a dozen yards.
You'd never know that's 26th carry or whatever it is here tonight. He runs as hard and as good as he did on his first carry of the game.
25 carries, 239 yards. A lot of those coming after halftime and 2 touchdowns.
You know, and that's a luxury when you have a guy like that. You don't have to go running back by committee. Your quarterback and your running backs get a rhythm, John, and handoffs and where you're going to be and timing, and those two got a great rhythm. And when you got that luxury to be able to give the ball 20 to 25 times to a guy and know you're going to get positive yards almost every single carry, and then you mix in play action, you mix in some really talented receivers. And
victory formation time for Wayzata now. Schmidt should tell Coach Braun, hey, you're hurting my rushing average when I'm lining up in the shotgun lines. It's me under center. I'm only losing 1 instead of 4.
It'd be funny if he let Bodine catch it and take the loss instead of.
You take it.
When you got to remember too, Tom Schmidt had a couple of big runs in that first half, and this game was certainly, still in doubt at that point. He had a couple of big runs, matched his season high.
And that will do it. Wayzata Trojans on to the state semifinals. Beat a gritty Centennial team tonight, 38-21. Centennial came in with a lot of injuries. Good team, really stood toe-to-toe with this Wayzata team for a long time. And in the end, Trojans proved to be too much on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think Coach Diggins is going to walk away and not feel sad, not feel like his team didn't show up to play. I thought they played tonight. I thought they came out and like I said, they were winning 14-10 midway through the second quarter, and Wayzata just a little too deep and too many athletes, big size, and just kind of wore them down. But congratulations to Centennial on a wonderful year, and it was fun to see Connor Zolk play. I'd read a lot about him, hadn't seen him in person, and he's certainly the real deal too. But this team right here, I believe to be the most complete team in 6A football, and they're going to be playing another really good team.
Lakeville South wins tonight, so they'll play Wayzata next Friday night at 7 o'clock at U.S. Bank Stadium. It's going to be two terrific games we'll have for you next week on CCX. Champlain Park, Lakeville North on Thursday, Wayzata, Lakeville South on Friday.
Well, we want all the teams we cover. We want Champlain Park, Wayzata, but think about if it was the two Lakeville schools too in that championship. But I'll tell you, this Wayzata defense has been great all year long. They're going to get challenged next week against the Lakeville South offense. It's difficult to defend. And sometimes your best defense when you get to that level is your offense. If Wayzata can sustain these long drives and keep that Lakeville South offense off the field.
So the Schmidt brothers, bottom of your screen there, they're excited. To share another memory next Friday along with the rest of their teammates. Malachi Jackson, number 5 there, and just a host of players. A lot of guys had big games tonight.
Yeah, it was a complete game. Tom Schmidt had a couple of big throws. We saw Christian Vassar, obviously a lot of him. That defense coming up with that touchdown right before halftime, that kind of gave them some separation going into halftime. So a complete team victory tonight for the Trojans.
We'll take time out. We'll have our post-game coming up here from Chanhassen. Our final score, Wayzata Trojans moving on to the state semifinals, 38-21 our final. More football after this on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
So we're going to all grab
Coach Lambert Brown addressing his Wayzata team, their deepest playoff run in a decade now. They're on to the state 6A semifinals. 11-0 on the season with a 38-21 win tonight over Centennial. Had the lead at halftime. Centennial comes back in the third quarter to make a game of it with the touchdown pass. A touchdown run rather by Larson that made it 24-21, and they come right back with a quick drive, a couple of plays and a touchdown to extend the lead, and added one more touchdown in the fourth quarter. Christian Vassar was really the guy in the second half, along with that offensive line opening holes, and tough on the other side of Centennial. This is it, for the not only all the players, but the seniors, for some of them, their last football game at all, at any level. And always tough, no matter how good the opponent is, well you played tonight. When you lose, that's it. And a lot of memories and all the practice that have gone into it over the years. And a tough night for those guys that come out and played so well tonight. But it ends here tonight for the Cougars to finish their season with an 8-3 record. As I mentioned, Wayzata now 11-0 and on to the state semifinals. So now the bracket updated in Class 6A. The winners last night, Lakeville North and Champlain Park, will meet next Thursday at 7 p.m. at U.S. Bank Stadium. And the winners tonight, Wayzata and Lakeville South, next Friday at 7 at U.S. Bank Stadium. And then 2 weeks after that, day after Thanksgiving, November 29th at 7 p.m., the 6A championship for 2019. Trojans have broke their huddle down on the field below. Ryan Iverson down there trying to round up a couple of Trojans here for our post game as they get ready for Lakeville South next week. A game we'll have for you here on CCX. We're not allowed to bring you live coverage of the game. We'll be able to replay it that night at 10 p.m. next Friday night from U.S. Bank Stadium on ccxmedia.org and CCX1 channel 799 in the Northwest Suburbs. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Ryan will be down with our post game in a moment. Continue and wrap up our coverage from Chanhassen High School after this.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Wayzata posts their 11th win of the season, 38-21. At 24-14 at halftime, and outscoring Centennial 14-7 there in the second half. One of the big plays in the game coming right before halftime, the forced fumble by LaShaka Rokes, and the scoop and score for Drew Birkeland, returning at 56 yards shortly before halftime to extend that Wayzata lead and put them up by 10. And although Centennial got back to within 4, never able to go back ahead in the games. The Trojans hold the lead in a big second half, especially on the ground, for Wayzata's offense, and able to pull away for the final 17-point margin over Centennial. Let's go down to the field now. Ryan Iverson standing by with 2 Wayzata Trojans.
All right, thanks, John. I'm with a couple of superstars from tonight's game. I'm going to start on the defensive side. Malachi Jackson, I swear I was calling your name every night, every play tonight. You were in that backfield almost as much as their running backs were. What was the key to you being so dominant tonight?
Just getting fast off the ball, getting off the ball pretty fast, just reacting when I need to, watching it on hard counts, and just blowing everything up.
Well, the thing I've seen all the top teams play this year, and the thing I think that makes you guys so complete is you're good at every phase. But defensively, your defensive line dominant tonight. What did Centennial do that gave you some trouble there tonight?
Their O-line, they did chop block a little bit, so that kind of throws me off balance. But just reacting to it, just kind of being ready for it, so I got to kind of slow up how I come off the ball and then react when I need to.
So you're moving on. You're going to play at US Bank Stadium next week against Lakeville South. What do you guys have to do this week to make sure that this dream doesn't end? You keep going all the way to the state championship.
We just got to keep working hard, keep moving forward, don't look back, and just stay together as a team.
I don't know if you can tell viewers, but I'm with a couple of big athletes right here. Do you two ever collide in practice? And if so, who wins that matchup?
I mean,
it's him. Well, congratulations on a wonderful game, and keep it up the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir.
Great job. I'm over here with Christian Vassar. Tonight, almost 250 yards rushing. You were dominant tonight. The thing I love about running backs nowadays is the ones that get the ball 20 to 30 times a game. You seem to get better as the game goes on. How is that?
I get better because the O-line gets better. They keep doing their job, and the receivers were amazing at downfield blocking tonight, so that just led me to longer runs, and they did their job.
This team, you guys, you can score in a variety of ways. You obviously run the football. You wear a team down. You got great size, but you also got great footwork and great speed. You mix that in with play action, though, and you can hit that down the field. But how important to your team's success is establishing you and getting you going in the running game?
I think once we establish the running game, once we establish the dominance in the trenches, it opens up the passing game, and our passing game is just as elite as our rushing game. So
what makes you such a good running back? And don't say your offensive line.
My offensive line. That's all. I think combination between my size and my speed and my agility. So.
How fun is this? You got potentially two games to go, playing at US Bank Stadium next week. How exciting is that going to be? And how exciting for the school? You guys see your grandma was over here hugging everyone. I even got a hug from grandma. How exciting is this, not only for you guys, but also for your families, for your school, your classmates, your whole community?
It's crazy. It's crazy to bring back something that Wayzata hasn't had for a while, and it brings a new energy to our community, and we love it.
I'm going to tell you, in 1996 and 97, I won 2 state championships at Eden Prairie, and I still remember what it smelled like the day I played and won those. What do you have to do to be able to have that same memory 20 years from now being a state champion?
Practice with discipline. Practice like it is our last game we're ever going to play. For some of the seniors it is, and we just got to go hard every single minute, every single rep, and that's it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to both of you on a wonderful game. Good luck here in the future and get it done. All right, back to you, John.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks to Malachi and Christian for their time as well. And a great team effort for Wayzata. Took some punches from Wayzata, from Centennial, but able to push back and in the end pull away for a win. Well, that will do it for our telecast tonight. Again, more prep football next week on CCX. Tape delayed coverage of Lakeville North and Champlin Park on Thursday, and Wayzata and Lakeville South on Friday night, both from U.S. Bank Stadium. Saturday afternoon, high school volleyball, and CCX's Wayzata takes on Egan. That'll do it for our telecast tonight. And for Ryan Iverson and all of our great crew tonight, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again from Chanhassen High School. Wayzata moving on, 38-21 over Centennial.